So early childhood matters because in the 2 first years of life, most of your neural connections are happening. That's why we emphasize on 1,000 days strategy. Basically, what's happening to a baby at that time and at that period is going to define the rest of their lives. If you think about different things that can stimulate these connections, has to do with how they connect to people, how they connect to their caregivers, how they connect to nature, how they connect to public space. That's why Istanbul 95 is trying to promote this kind of connections. We will be working with parenting coaching, basically giving different resources and tools so parents can connect better with their children. But we will also be working with the public space and just making sure that the whole city, Istanbul as a city, can create public space and can create different spaces that can become stimulating, thriving spaces for children. So there are many different things that we're measuring in our approach of Urban 95. One of the things that we're measuring is different behaviors that we can be affecting on the connections that caregivers have with their children. For example, we're measuring, can we increase the number of hours that parents or caregivers spend doing storytelling? Which means reading stories to their children or just like telling them stories. And that's easily measurable. We can measure that. Of course, the rates of breastfeeding is something that we're measuring in all the different cities that we're working along the different countries. Another thing that we're hoping to be able to measure is our parents changing their behaviors related to nurturing their children, like the way they eat, the way that has to do not only about eating healthy food or having exclusive breastfeeding during the 6 first months of life, but also after the first 6 months of life, are they also promoting a good way of nurturing their children, not only on what they eat, but on the affection with which they eat. Related to the public space, I think that some of the things that we can measure is the time that children spend outdoors using the public space. And that's very easy to measure in any city. That's what we're measuring in every city. And one thing that we're very interested in measuring is the use of data. Our policymakers, our mayors, our politicians, are people using data in order to make better decisions that can affect the life of young children and families. And I think this is a very easy way to measure the use of data. It's just understanding, are we using maps? Are we using different indicators that relate to young children and to their caregivers? These are some of the main measures that we are using among all the different cities that we're currently working.